And I came down to this altar one more time, but there was something different when I came down to this altar this time. Because I just broke down. I came down here broken. You know, I left everything here. I left trauma bonds here. I left addiction here. I left toxic behaviors, you know. I literally left everything here. I was broken, you know. When I stood up and I walked back to my seat, I always sit back there kind of about where that group of people is, man. That's kind of where I like to sit. And I felt so free, you know. Like, I didn't hurt no more.
And I got bold and I asked him, I said, Jesus, if you can still use me, if you want me, then take me. I want you. If not, just let me die because I'm worthless. And just that moment, and I can't explain it, but I think most of us know, in just that moment, he showed me what my life would be like with him. And he fulfilled my life. That day I called Jeffrey. Jeffrey came and got me up. I said, I'm ready. I'm ready. He came and took me to detox, and I never looked back since then, and that's been 2 years ago.
Shame will keep you sick. Shame will keep you out of church. Shame will keep you away from your family. Shame will keep you away from your friends. But, you know, I started having a different journey in my life last year. In August, I repented. In November, I got saved. And now the people I used to call my friends say, I don't even know you anymore. And I say, thank God, you know.
I had to make a change, and it happened. I started serving in this church. Me and my family, my kids go to this church, and we serve every single day. We serve God. When it's time, and that's what I have to do for Tim. And then that way I can lead for an example. My daughters are going to have to grow up. They're going to grow up and not having to know that Tim was this alcoholic and addict. They have to have that because they're accessible to addiction. They are. And that's the thing about it. I'm going to have a tight hand on them with that. But I know that God has his hands wrapped around. With God, all things are possible. Amen. All things.
That day, I decided, well, it's time. I let people come over, get whatever they wanted out of the garage. I didn't go in that garage for 6 months. I'm right at a year sober. I'm just moseying along. God's, he's keeping me. I mean, my heart was at somewhere between 7 and 10% ejection fraction, and it's now probably somewhere around 50. So he wouldn't let me die, and he's giving me abundant life. So
when I ask him for help, he gives it to me. When I don't, I get what I get, you know. Treasures is my home group. Wonderful group. For a long time, I thought that all I needed was God to change my life, to be sober. It's not true. He gives me all of you. He gives me all the people in Treasures. He gives me my pastors. He gives me this church. He gives me the church I usually go to. That's how I heal. That's how I heal. I heal with you guys. Because God hasn't come down from heaven and gave me a hug yet, but he hugs me through you guys.
The one thing I've said that will always make me stumble in this recovery journey is if I lost my grandpa. And January 13th of this year I did, and I didn't mess up. And I stayed sober, and I actually started going back to church because I was really angry. And I actually came to this church. This was the first time I've been back to church in like a year and a half. I really thank you guys because I came in here and I felt home.
They all served a purpose, but it was God's purpose. And it hurt to leave those friendships and relationships, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me at all. So we fast forward to today. Today, oh my. Let me tell you what God's done. He showed me love in a whole nother way. He walked me through all of that, not because he wanted to put me through trauma. It wasn't him that did it. It was other people's choices that put me in those places, and my own choices too as well. But I had to walk that journey to come out to where I am today. Today, God gave me dreams and hopes. He showed me what love was so I could walk in 6 weeks, guys. In 6 weeks, I'm getting married. And I'm so excited. God showed me. I remember asking Jay, can you love me like Christ loves me? And he said, yes. And I was like, there you go. Because listen, that is the love. I don't cry because I'm sad. I cry because I am so happy. I can reciprocate that love today. To my kids, to my fiance, to the people around me. Man, what a blessing.